Hello and welcome to the GLHF YouTube channel. My name is Dave Breens and I'm here with a colourful cast of characters today to talk about the Fallout TV show. Is it any good? Do the people who like the games like it? Should you play the games if you haven't? We're here to generally answer some of those questions, perhaps. I'm here with Kirk McKean.
All right.
I'm also here with George Young.
Oh, yeah.
There's also Josh Broadwell
Hey there.
and Gaming with Griff Griffin.
Hello, I've done no preparation for this, but let's go.
None of us have. Don't
None of
worry
us
about it.
have, yeah.
I don't
great.
know.
Okay, makes
I
me
haven't
feel good.
watched an episode.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. I'm
You're more prepared than Dave.
Yeah. Okay, so is it good?
Yes, it's great. I love it.
Cool.
All right, that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, all right.
I will
I'll send
say-
this audio to Marin.
I've only seen 4.5 episodes and I don't watch TV or movies famously, and I've been enjoying it. I can't stop watching it. So
Yeah,
it's got to be good.
it's
in my
good, even
opinion,
for
if
people who
I'll
don't
sit
play
down and
games.
watch it. Mm.
Yeah, I watched it with my partner, Selena, and she does not play video games. She's watched the Last of Us series with me, and she loved that, but she actually preferred Fallout to The Last of Us.
Mhm.
I think because there's a bit more going on with the plot. There's a bit of humour in there. You know, it's very violent, so it's got like a bit of everything rather than just grim reality all
Cool.
the time and mushroom zombies.
For my benefit, I know for a fact, obviously, The Last of Us took this plot directly from the game. Where does Fallout take its plot from? What does it adapt? What does it integrate from the main series?
It's not a plot from the series, but it has
No.
it's got a lot of New Vegas stuff in it. So I think it's mostly from New Vegas because I've only played New Vegas and I recognised loads of stuff. So
This is George going, this is a bit like Boss Baby. Because there is
they've
a lot.
got, like-
There's a lot from the whole series in there.
But they have got they've got the welcome center with the robots in from New Vegas, and obviously you've got the ghoul subplot in there. The Brotherhood of Steel are from New Vegas as well. I'm sure they're in.
I mean, they're in all of them.
Yeah, but if you've only played New Vegas, you do recognise it.
Yeah, if you've only watched Boss Baby.
No, but I think this is good information going forward. Even if you've only played the one game, there's plenty of stuff that you going to recognise.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, according to the timeline, it's set after everything, so it's the most recent in the Fallout timeline.
So is Todd Howard saying it's canon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. As I said, I've done no preparation, so I only read headlines on and tweets, but I think it's the most recent. Yeah.
Were those headlines on mensjournal.com?
I can't comment on that.
Okay. All right. Very well. Josh, do you have complex thoughts about Fallout?
I do actually. I think I'm the only one here who's a bit mixed on it. I like it. It's fun, but I think it's kind of a bit structurally confused. It's two shows that finally decides which one it wants to be in the last 3 episodes. So
This is a very refreshing viewpoint. I've only heard from people who just can't get enough of it, so it's actually nice to hear from someone who's kind of down on it.
I
in one
agree
way.
with Josh though. Again, I've only seen half of it, but it keeps jumping between perspectives, and I did find that really confusing.
I will say though, The Witcher kind of did something similar, and it did it in a way more confusing. I know that was based more on the books than the games, but I think if you go into The Witcher blind, knowing nothing about that world and characters, you will be confused for the whole first series.
Oh my
Whereas-
God. It jumps through time as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then Fallout, on the flip side, I think it does a really good job of establishing its world and the rules and what a ghoul is, what the Brotherhood is, the factions and that sort of thing. So although it does jump around a bit, I think it does a very good job of grounding you in the world at least.
Yeah, and it doesn't expect you to know what all the proper nouns mean, like a lot of fantasy shows do.
Stimpack.
Yeah.
I think
I
my
loved
biggest.
Oh, sorry. Can I?
No, you're
interject?
fine.
I loved it when the dog is
Yeah, go
almost dead, and he just shoves a stim pack in, and it's fully healthy again. And it's that's exactly what a stim pack does. If you're not dead, it'll heal anything.
A lot of drug use
Yeah.
in this show.
There is in the games though, right? They were banned in Australia for a bit, weren't they, because of the drug use?
Oh, do you know what? Can we talk about? I don't want to
Drugs,
introduce
yeah.
topics. Let's talk about how faithful it is. For instance, a lot of people get their limbs crippled in this show. A lot like the games. At least 2 people get their feet amputated.
Yeah, one of the best takes I saw on Twitter was how the like I don't know what they call them, like the little helpers who run around with the Brotherhood guys, like
Squires.
Squire.
squires.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, they run around with these massive bags, like they're constantly over encumbered, basically.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought
like
that was
pack mules. They're literally pack
Yeah.
mules.
Why else did you have issues with it, Josh? I need to dig
Yeah.
down into this.
I think the wasteland part feels totally separate from what they end up trying to do later in it. Like, I think the difference is if you're playing Fallout, all these weird little interactions, strange people, you know, the chicken lovers that you might meet or not meet along the way, they kind of build a story in your head about the journey that you're having, but you don't obviously have that in the Fallout show. You've got whatever's happening to Lucy and to Maximus, and most of what happens doesn't actually build up to anything else later. Like the grocery store episode, I think it was great. It's fun, it's well done, it was exciting, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, it kind of like the one before that, where just, you know, she loses the head, and then the ghoul loses his drugs, and that's kind of like a video game sort of. We need to have a reason to get you over here so things can happen. I think 2, 3, and 4, and maybe episode 5, like the first half of it, I think it was the weakest part of the show for me because of that.
Is that when the ghoul says they'll get sidetracked by pointless bullshit? Because
yes,
it feels like the writers knew that's what they were doing and like winking at it. I mean, that doesn't necessarily automatically make it good, but at least it's self-aware, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, that is like the games though, where the best bits of Boss Baby, New Vegas, is you know, in the side bits, like the ghouls go into the moon and that's like one of the best bits of the game. And if you don't do side bits, if you don't wander off, you don't see it. Again, I'm not saying that makes it good that they did side stuff, but it is like a sort of callback to the games, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a boring episode either. Although it might not matter to the overall plot, I don't think ever was boring. I felt entertained throughout the whole thing.
Even I didn't look at my phone much. Do you know what? I actually find the petty side tracking, all that. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, go for it.
All the bullshit, all that kind of stuff was the best part. For instance, you know when Lucy in episode 2, she comes across this guy who's living in his house and he's like trying to get water from the broken water machine. He's like, I'm putting sand in it. I only get sand out. Like, what's going on? And she's like, have you tried putting water in it? And he's like, I didn't think of that. And they have like a little funny exchange for about 2 minutes and then they move on. And it doesn't really lead anywhere, but it just reminds me a lot of the games. Like, you have a lot of fun when you are the beaten path. Like, those are my favourite moments of the show.
Yeah, and I'll say as well, it's refreshing to have that in a show like this because they usually go to pains to say in like the lead up to a release of something based on a video game that, we didn't look at the video games, we didn't watch the video game, like we've never
Halo.
played the video games, you know, and then fucking Master Chief's like walking around with his helmet off, like so it is nice to have something that's faithful but while still being approachable to people who don't give a shit about the games.
Yeah, like Jonathan Nolan, he's like an actual like hardcore Fallout player, and he said it in multiple interviews. He was addicted to Fallout 3, and it definitely shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we got some favourite moments?
Oh, the chicken fucker, as Josh alluded to. That I laughed out loud at that, which says something about my sense of humour. But that was hilarious.
Well, I think all those little bits is like adding up to the world because Maximus is going out there and he thinks, oh, these people are fighting. I'm going to stop the fight, and you know, I'm such a good person. It's not just about how Lucy's sheltered, right? It's, you know, everyone's it's degrees of sheltering because then there's Maximus who's also lived a sheltered life, and then there's the ghoul who obviously has lived everything.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
then Maximus going into the shelter, like he almost sees the world in a different way then, doesn't he? He's munching popcorn with a dressing gown on.
Yeah. I think he was actually the strongest character. I know everyone kind of prefers the ghoul, but I think his background and the way he perceives the world, and then the fact that he starts out as this, you know, kind of typical underdog story. Oh, he's the reject, but then even though you're meant to sympathize with him, he's not a very good person either. He's doing some pretty shady stuff. Yeah, I think actually he was the most interesting, and I think I would have less of a problem with the Wasteland episodes if they didn't try and make it so much like it was meant to change Lucy, because it didn't. Here's a woman who is fine with slitting someone's throat with a bottle when she's obviously capable of defending herself, and she's not, not so sheltered that she doesn't know about the shit in life. So
I think a lot of the themes are about how this world just corrupts everybody, even someone as pure as Lucy. Even though in the end she sticks to her morals and kind of changes the other characters for the better. I think, you can't get through that world with your hands clean, can you?
Yeah, and I really appreciated the way they did that with the ending too, is that even though they hinted throughout the entire show that it's Lucy's fall from grace, she's gonna change, she's gonna be like the ghoul. It's more complex what actually ends up happening. She has bits of both worlds still in her, and she decides how she's gonna be and how she wants to change the world. I thought that was a really strong ending.
Yeah, do you know what? As Lucy gets, I was just going to say, as Lucy gets more, she loses her humanity. The ghoul gains his humanity, so they're kind of like on this scale. And for the listeners, I'm using my hands to demonstrate two different spectrums.
A scale, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I think at the beginning they really emphasise that, like, Lucy's been in training. That when she's preparing for she wants to be part of the exchange, right, and to become a breeder, and she's like, talking about all her good qualities, and a lot of them are like fighting and combat related. So I think
she's a trad wife, isn't she?
Trad wife.
Yeah, trad wife that will beat the shit out of you. But there's an emphasis on the fact that she's getting trained to go out to the surface if the radiation gets better, sort of thing. So she's always on a different end to the other people in the vault, really, in that sense, because not everyone's trained for that.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to go into some spoilers here, so spoiler warning. But I thought it was kind of interesting how they turned the vault system on its head and like made the overseers and the vault tech like a grander conspiracy rather than just here's some vaults that are all doing their own thing. Like it was all tied in together, which the games don't do they? If I remember rightly.
I didn't really like that. That's the only bit that I kind of blanked out at. Lost interest.
Oh well, fuck you, I guess.
I won't elaborate on my opinion any further. I did not care for it.
All right. Well, did you like the violence at least?
Oh man, all the violence was shocking. I did not think it was going to be as gory as it was. People's heads get exploded. There's one bit when the ghoul has a shootout in Philly. He shoots someone in the head, and the body flies towards the camera, and half of his head is on it, like full screen, and there's blood flying out. It's crazy. He offers someone a tomato, and he says you can't have it because you got a hole in your neck. It was shocking, but yeah, again, like very true to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a up
close. The Vast showcase.
Yeah, there's an up close, very graphic finger. Not decapitation because it's finger, but that was very gory. I thought, amputation.
Finger decapitation.
Yes,
that's brilliant.
But that was very up close. I thought they were going to go away for that, move the camera, but they didn't. They keep it on it the whole time.
Yeah.
What did you think about Norm's character?
I liked him. I like him. He's. I think that's meant to be the point of it, isn't it? That their family, the McLeans, is like a little bit different from the other people in the vault. That was the vibe you get, right? Because they question a bit more than other people.
Yeah, I understood its purpose, but once Lucy left the vault, I was like, the vault's dead to me now. I don't care about any of these characters under the vault. I want to see what new adventure she has. Chet, oh man,
We love a himbo.
It's weird that guy in it, I can't remember his name, big guy with the glasses. He's in Severance as well, isn't he? And like he basically plays the exact same role in that. Just this guy who's in like a weird place with rules that he doesn't understand, and he's trapped there.
Oh, David Register, I think his name is, not the actor.
It's weird that he's been typecast as that. Very specific.
Oh, and Zach Cherry as well. Zach Cherry plays almost the exact same role in Severance. Just this this office drone who works under the ground.
That's who I mean. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. What next?
Yeah, Dave.
Steer us, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Favorite moment, Josh?
I think probably the end of episode 6, where, well, I don't want to spoil it for George because
No, it's all right. I've already been spoiled by Griff.
What did I say?
Oh,
Told me
Griff,
the
you
ending.
fucked it all up.
No, but I did ask him the ending.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't.
I double checked.
We all knew what we were here for. Josh, go ahead.
When Lucy sees the experiments in Vault 12? Vault 4? I don't know. The other vault.
Level 12.
Yeah, there we go. I kept mixing that up. When Lucy sees those and she's having her kind of revelation moment, and then Maximus is having his this is what life could be like kind of moment, and sitting down, ignoring the world around him. To me, that's kind of where I got what they were wanting to say with the show, like some of the ideas and what they were going to do with Fallout, the way Fallout tries to satirize American culture. Because like the way Maximus just kind of blanks out from everything, and suddenly his needs, quote unquote, consumerism and the prospect of all this comfort, if he goes along with what these people tell him to do and ignores what he knows is right, that's suddenly what takes center stage for him. So I'm a bit of a nerd. That kind of thing really interests me. So that was a great moment for me.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the exploding heads.
You liked the exploding heads. That was your favorite moment.
I mean, the whole thing is, the whole thing is like a class thing, right? Because everyone in the vaults descended from rich people that could afford a vault. So, I mean, that's like that was a little bit beaten over the head to me. Like the poors are out there and you don't know what it's like on the streets, and we'll eat a man's ass. And then the rich like
we'll decapitate an ass.
Was that a direct quote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walton Goggins is like, ass jerky don't make itself.
Yeah, it is. Goggins is fucking brilliant, by the way. I know you said that everyone loves the goal, but I think part of that is just because Goggins has such great screen presence.
He does. Yeah, I mean, like, literally nothing could be happening, but if he's there saying whatever, it's fantastic.
Doesn't even need
a nose.
He's
that good.
He can act without a nose.
Yeah. Talent, man.
Yeah. And no lips.
I always use my nose for expression. He has lips.
Too.
No. When you look at them, they're not there.
Well, he has an ending to his mouth, I guess.
They're kind of like, chapped. But I was going to say my favourite moment is when Lucy has that excursion in the Super Duper Mart. Because it's like, it is literally framed like a side mission in a game. She goes in, she meets Matt Berry, who voices the robot, which is another incredible part. She has a little, like, 50-minute encounter. She saves all the ghouls and she gets a bunch of drugs as her, like, quest reward. So it's just like a perfect little 15-minute moment. And
the thing is,
that kind of summed up the show.
You're lying because you already told us your favourite part was the chicken fucking, so...
True.
Why are you lying?
I've been caught in my own web of lies.
Yeah.
The listeners are going to call you the fuck out. This is worse than the Boss Baby stuff.
Yeah. Okay, alright. If you were to recommend a video game for new Fallout fans to play, what are we saying?
Can I go first? Because I've already done this. Because I'm going to go first. My partner, she's playing Fallout 4 now. Because that's the one I recommended. Not because it's the best one. It's not. Vegas is the best one. I recommended 4 because it's the most palatable to a modern audience, in my opinion.
And how's she getting on?
Yeah, she's really liking it. She's found it really hard on very easy because she's never played a first-person shooter before. But yeah, even on very easy, it'll kill you. But that's the wasteland, baby. So.
All right, cool. George, what are you thinking? Would you have a Fallout game in mind that people should maybe play?
Would it be New Vegas, George?
Yeah, if they've not watched Boss Baby, no. So New Vegas. Okay, so there's a story behind the fact that I played New Vegas. I hate first-person shooters. I think every game with a gun is terrible, except for maybe Bayonetta. And Josh said no, but you got to play New Vegas because it's got a very good story. And actually, that's why I think the show might be better than the games, because I think the shooting in New Vegas is bad, and I've been told by people who like shooting that the Fallout shooting is bad. So I wasn't just alone in that. And I think if you could have the story of New Vegas separate from the game, that might be better. But New Vegas
Next
does have a
season.
very good. Yeah, New Vegas does have a really good story, so I am interested to see
And it's
if
got
that
Matthew
goes
Perry.
into the show. And it has Matthew Perry. They'll definitely get him for the show.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't the dad in 3 someone famous as well?
Oh, Liam Neeson.
It's Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam
Yeah.
Neeson, and they just used him as like, I'm off to get some water, and then he got water, and that was the end of his story. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I never even completed Fallout 3. The games are so long, but that ties into my answer for this question. I would recommend Fallout Shelter because it's a little iPhone game, but then I've also heard it's been discontinued and you can't actually download it.
oh, you can.
Yeah,
You definitely
Can
can.
you?
I think
If you can, then play that.
the microtransactions are all dead. I think is the thing. So it's just like a free.
Even better.
You can get it on Steam and stuff now. I think.
Oh, I really like that game, and if you're not a gamer but you like Fallout, I definitely recommend that as a way to get into the world. It's like this little strategy game. I mean, I don't know why I'm explaining it because people who listen to this are probably game fans, but you basically manage a Fallout
TV
shelter.
fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. It's like a 2D kind of like you manage a vault. You have to stop people getting in. You purify the water. Like, yeah, it's
Like
quite
Liam
easy
Neeson.
but addictive.
Imagine
Like Liam
a
Neeson,
strategy boss baby, and you're already there. Josh, what would you
Exactly.
recommend?
Well, I would probably go for New Vegas for story.
No, you're not
or...
allowed to choose the same as someone else.
I know. I just
Why isn't he allowed to pick New Vegas?
New rule just got made up.
And 4 definitely has the better vibes, especially the ones that match the show more. But if you can tolerate jank and 50 Shades of Brown, I would say Fallout 3. That's the one that I played first. It kind of got me into the series. It's mechanically a bit of a mess, and the combat is awful, like George said about New Vegas. But I think the story is good. The side stories are excellent. And
Megaton, 10 Penny Towers.
yes.
Megaton is an all-timer thing, to be fair.
So I would go
I
for
will
that.
say though. Oh, sorry. No, Josh, continue.
Oh no, I was
You've
just
got to
gonna
go now.
Well, New Vegas, right? You're saying your missus is always dying, but like I am very bad at shooters, and I wasn't always dying in New Vegas. I think you can turn down the difficulty.
Oh,
in the
but
VAT
yeah,
system.
it's on very, very easy, and it's just she doesn't play games, not shooters. She doesn't play video games.
Yeah,
so
but you can avoid all the enemies in Fallout, like because I.
that means
I
you
was
have to be good
explaining
at
this-
sneaking, though, right?
No, you got to be good at
4,
talking.
to be fair, no, 4 is a lot more shooty than the other ones. A lot.
Yeah, this
more
is what I'm
shooty.
saying. With New Vegas, you just invest all your points in talking.
It's
you
a
can
good
just
point.
chat your way through the
Yeah.
game.
That is a
So,
good point. The
that's why I
builds
think
are a
New
lot
Vegas
more
might be good.
varied in the older
Mm.
You
ones.
just needs to min-max, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what that means. I've just heard people say it before.
Yeah, it makes sense in that context. Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
min
just
max
need to
into
swing
chatting
Game
shit.
crafting, theory crafting, and min-maxing and all that.
Yeah,
RGB.
yeah, it's part of the gameplay loop.
But yeah, I didn't do the
Exactly.
final. There's like a final really difficult boss fight, and I just maxed out speech and just convinced him to fuck off. And I think,
I think you can convince him to kill himself, can't you, as well? Or
oh, I
is that
don't know about
different?
that. I didn't do that. Pacifist.
Oh, the
But,
writing is top tier.
But
Because
yeah,
it was
but
made by Obsidian, not actually Bethesda. So
Yeah.
do you know what? Another option if you are looking for a game to play that has a high level of writing is
Don't say
the Outer Worlds.
Don't say
Yeah,
We
I was
all
going to
knew
say
it
that too.
was
That was going to be the next one.
Why? Is that a cursed game or something?
I just think it's good for the first like couple of hours, and then it's terrible. But yeah,
I've only played 30 minutes.
exactly. It's really good at first.
But I
Brilliant
really enjoyed
recommendations.
those 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think we should make Dave watch the show as well.
No,
It's not anime though, is it? You'd watch
No.
it if it was an anime.
I'm not a
I mean,
guarantee.
Lucy's pretty much an
Watch for
anime
a Snapchat
girl.
film.
Her eyes keep jump scaring me all the time.
Mm.
They don't.
She's got
seem
the
human sized.
biggest eyes I've ever seen. You know,
Yeah.
Battle Elite, Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mm.
She literally looks like that. It's crazy. Or
That's a good
a mantis, praying mantis.
There's a mantis in New Vegas, isn't there? The mantis
There's plenty.
superhero thing. No, there's like a superhero.
Oh,
Called
there's a
Mantis.
specific one.
Is it a mantis?
There's a mantis in Metal Gear Solid as well.
And Starfield.
He's
There's a
psycho.
ship called the Mantis. He is psycho.
By the way, if
alright.
she's listening to this, I mean it in a nice way. Sorry, Lucy.
Oh yes,
No, wait, her
very
name's Ella.
attractive, very attractive woman. But yeah,
Yes.
it's always
Great actress as well.
Yeah, very good. Just always surprising me when
All right.
turn around.
We've gone through it now. I only have one question left for all of you. I was looking back at Telltale's The Walking Dead. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Yeah.
Season 1,
Yeah.
episode 2 of that series is where they're on they're at Herschel's farm and they find out
Oh,
that they're
best
eating
one.
people.
Best
yeah, it is
one.
the best one. And they're eating
Mm.
people. And they're eating
Yeah.
people. And in that situation, thinking about it really hard, maybe I'd eat people. Maybe I would. My question for you is, would you eat a man's ass?
Yes, sorry.
Yes,
100%.
definitely.
Really?
That's the best part.
Because what is it? Alive? That thing in Alive where they crashed the plane. They said their one regret about that was not eating each other sooner. So I think we
Yeah,
should all take.
and not eating the arse.
What do you think, Josh?
I think we should all.
I don't know. I mean, I like to
Jackie.
say no. I would probably just die, but who knows? In that situation, maybe I would.
No, they're already dead.
Spoken
It's
like
not
someone
you're
who's
killing
never
people.
eaten an arse.
Who got the
There
smoke
you
alarm
go.
on? All right, that's
Yeah,
probably a good place,
it's not,
place to go.
It's not
George
like
has got
killing
strong
someone.
feelings about arse eating.
It's-
She's still got.
No, like it's not about killing someone to eat the arse. It's about they died, and now you keep going.
Oh no, I'd
Keep
kill
going.
him.
Oh, I thought you were going
I'd
to say
kill
you could
them.
chop a bit off while they're still alive. Like, if you chop off a love handle, like in Seven, that David Fincher film, you can chop off a love handle and keep them alive, and then you both get to eat.
It's true.
I
I've
don't
not
know
thought about it or anything.
Welcome to the GLHF YouTube channel.
You ever heard of a series called Fire Punch?
Why are we
No,
still
what's that?
talking?
Oh, it's a manga. In like the first chapter, is like there's like a little boy who regenerates, but he comes from a destitute village. So every day he goes into the woods and cuts his arm off like a dozen times to feed his family.
Oh, it's
Oh,
decent.
yeah, that's perfect.
It's good of him.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, so I think we would all eat
we'd be
people
down for
apart
that.
from Josh. who's
Josh
not.
would not.
Yeah. Would you
100%.
eat the Fire
Yeah.
Punch kid's arm? He chopped it for you.
I mean, if he's already chopped it off, I guess it would be rude not to, wouldn't it?
It would be rude like that. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There was that
thank you
guy
all.
who. Sorry, there's a guy and he had his leg
fuck's sake.
amputated, and they made tacos out of it, and he invited his friends round. That
Wait, what did he
happened.
amputate?
His foot is off his leg, foot, calf to the.
Did
foot.
they not notice?
I was going to say.
No, he told them. He said,
Oh.
"I'm making
Oh.
tacos out of the foot. Come
It's
round."
Taco Tuesday. Feet Friday.
Because they were like, how
Mm.
often can you eat human meat ethically?
Why is this taking
Once
so
a
much of
month.
a left turn? What is...
Wait, let me steer it back to Fallout. Let me steer it back. You know, in episode 4, when Lucy
Eats
drinks
an
from the
arse.
irradiated water,
Mm.
that's like the first time she ingests anything from the wasteland. And I feel like that's the turning point where she's like, okay, I'm going to have to lose some of my morals here. And then a bit later, she kind of gets radiation sickness. So I
Yeah.
feel like the question is not so much would you eat an arse, but like, when do you start drinking the water and
When do
becoming
you
irradiated?
start eating arse? Like, what's the cut-off point?
Probably like a few days in.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Don't
No
leave.
worries.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
Uh,